Okay, hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. We're starting the rise of mass democracy, 1820s, and this is kind of the era of the common man. There's people moving west, and we're going to spirit. So this is new democracy, and we're talking about a democracy, a government for the people. And Jacksonian democracy is a democracy by the people. So this is based on you don't have to own lots of property. This is a universal male suffrage type of democracy. And we're going to talk about Andrew Jackson and being the first kind of common man, and a theory about the American identity proposed by Frederick Jackson Turner. Okay, so we're going to have labor. In the East, a lot more manufacturing, a demand for free education, public education, into debtor's prison, which we talked about before. And these unions, some of these groups are going to be violent in trying to. So we talked about the Panic of 1819 in the last unit, and how the workers and the farmers in the West blamed the banks for them losing their lands, giving them bad loans, not giving them more leeway. And so they are appealing to the government, and they want to reform the Bank of the United States. And this is going to be a war that Jackson is going to take up with all of his power against the Bank of the United States. So debtors' prisons, you're going to see them starting to be closed down, and people being able to work their way out of debt rather than going to prison. Okay, we talked about the Missouri Compromise, and now another slave state has joined the Union, the United States, and we've got this this tension growing between North and South. And Henry Clay stepping up and with his Missouri Compromise, but this does not go away just because of the compromise. Okay, so you can see here the green states are the free states, the orange are the slave states, and then you've got the Missouri Compromise line going across there at 3630. Florida is now part of the United States because of the Adams-Onis Treaty. And he's got this line delineating what Spain owns versus what we do as part of the Louisiana Purchase. Okay, so we're going to have, unlike the era of good feelings where we had the Democrat-Republican Party, now we are going to see a two-party system reemerging. More and more people are going to vote, so it's going to be a high percentage of the universal male voting public, and we're going to see people politicking. They're going to go out, they're going to be making speeches, which previous to this they kind of let their people do. Now the politicians themselves are going to get involved a little bit with their campaigns. So there's kind of a change in voting for the Electoral College members. They're going to have to abide by the popular vote. The caucus systems, where the parties pick the candidates, they're going to go by the wayside, and we're going to get nominating conventions, more democratic. And so this shows the rise of mass politics and the new political party called the Whigs. And that's going to be the two parties that we're going to see in effect from about 1824 up through 1840, when we see the emergence of the Republican Party and the demise of the Whigs. So this is kind of just showing how they're campaigning, okay? You got all these guys out here. If you look here to the left, there's a little drinking going on. That guy on the far right looks like he might have had a few already. And making speeches, and these guys are politicking. This is called the Stump Speech, and why? Because people wanted to be higher than their audience, and when they were out in the country, often they stood on a stump so they could be higher than their audience. The politician reaching out to his voters, trying to make his point. Again, this is the country politician. Notice they have these kind of portly guys in the background, and that's kind of the guys maybe that are running things. So in 1824, there were 4 Democrat-Republican candidates. We had Andrew Jackson, John Quincy Adams, William H. Crawford, and Henry Clay. Remember Henry Clay? Great compromiser. Okay, a lot of power, Speaker of the House. So these are the percentages. Andrew Jackson, because of his hero status during the War of 1812, draws 38% of the popular vote. John Quincy Adams, 32, 16 for Crawford, and 4. This is what it looked like, the popular vote. But nobody got the majority of the electoral vote. So having 4 guys that kind of split, you've got to have 51% of that Electoral College to win the election. What are you going to do? Jackson wins the most popular votes. Under the 12th Amendment, it goes to the House of Representatives. Well, Henry Clay hated Jackson, and he's got the support of the House being the Speaker, and he's going to throw his support behind Jackson. That is going to give John Quincy Adams 54% of the Electoral College vote. So even though he lost the popular vote, does that sound familiar? Okay, he won the Electoral College. Then Adams announces, hey, I'm going to make Henry Clay my Secretary of State. Jackson calls up, hey, they made a deal. It's a corrupt bargain. Okay, so this is known as the corrupt bargain and the illegitimate presidency of John Quincy Adams. So he goes in. We're going to see another one down the road. You might have heard about this one, the one in 1827 with Tilden and Rutherford B. Hayes. So that's going to be called fraudulent deal. So this is, what we're going through right now. This has happened to us in here. So corrupt bargain.
And now, an explanation of the corrupt bargain, which took place in the back halls of Washington while no one was watching.
We need to find a scheme to keep the power in the hands of the chosen few.
John Quincy Adams says,
if my dad was president, I should get to be president too.
Henry Clay says,
I'll make you president if you make me Secretary of State.
Alexis de Tocqueville says something in French that none of us can translate. Woo! All you educated people, you can talk of liberty, but do you really want the American people running their own country? John Quincy Adams says,
If we steal the election, then Jackson will surely cave.
John Calhoun says,
You can be president if you don't try to take away my slaves.
Henry Clay says,
You'll get Missouri cause I know how to play real politic.
James Madison said something prescient about this, but he was kind of a dick. Let's dance! You can compromise all you want, they're still drunk and smell like pee. Do you really want America run by a man from Tennessee? John Quincy Adams,
The people are stupid.
Henry Clay,
They can all go rocked.
John Calhoun,
They're lame.
Quincy Adams,
They suck.
Henry Clay,
Jackson's a total twat.
John Calhoun.
These guys are idiots, but it's Jackson who's a real threat.
I'm sure Michel Foucault would have an opinion, but he hasn't been born yet. Jackson is a loser. Jackson is a loser. Jackson is a loser. Jackson is a loser.
video, you guys. So this is President John Quincy Adams, and he is only going to be a one-term president. Remember, he was a great Secretary of State, but his presidency is a failure. If you look here, he is 21st on the chart, which is not that bad, but not that great either. Okay, so basically he is going to serve, I see to be a little bit, might have to do this in two parts, guys, because I am stuck.